Hey everybody, it's Joe Lawyer here from Analog Man Cave, and I have another clip for you from my long interview with Joe Bloch. I asked him his most overrated RPG product ever made, and he said 5e. So I'm like, oh, we're going good here. So he did a little deep dive into why he thinks that. Hope you enjoy it. Please do like and subscribe. It helps the algorithm, and there's a link to the original big long video below. So, all right, I'll talk to you soon. Hope you enjoy it.
That makes sense. That totally makes sense. What is the most overrated RPG product out there ever, anytime?
Oh,
No, we got a good one. It looks like
5th edition.
Oh, really? Interesting. Just fucking laying it out there, huh? All right. 5th edition.
Yeah, I mean, I would have said 4th edition, but that's not overrated because nobody likes it.
No, it sucked. I call that a living abortion. 4th edition.
It was terrible, but 5e is just because everybody likes it because I think they think they're supposed to like it.
Yeah,
especially among younger gamers, it's like,
yeah.
and it's just bad. I write for it and I don't like it. I've played it and it takes the game in a completely different direction than its origins.
What do you think? What's the bad about it?
I mean, and I'm going to speak in generalities here, and obviously I know you could use any set of rules to play any kind of game.
True.
I get that. But 5e, especially the 2024 5e, so 5.1 or 2 or whatever the hell they're calling it this week.
Yeah.
The system is so intertwined with itself. It's so homogenous, the system itself, the crunchy bits, that it fights against you if you try to change anything.
Interesting.
One of the things I love about 1st edition is its modularity.
Okay.
Right? Because you have, and this is something that a lot of people think is a down, is a bad thing. But to me, it's a plus. And that is the fact that you have one system to do something over here, and one system that works completely different to do this over here, and then a separate system over here to do this thing, and then another system over here to do this thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of modern players don't like that because it's inconsistent. Oh, you have to roll high over here and low over here, and this uses percentiles and this uses a d20. But when you think about it, back in the 70s and the 80s, we were doing a lot of kit bashing. We were all fiddling with the rules. And you see this in from the very earliest days of the hobby in like the zines like Alarums and Excursions, or in Dragon Magazine, where you'd have here's a system, here's a new class, here's a new system to do this, here's a new way to do coins, here's a new way to do that, and we would even take stuff out of other games. You could take the magic system out of Call of Cthulhu. You could take Arms Law and Claw Law for the combat system, and still use the monsters out of the monster manual and call it D&D.
Yeah.
Modern D&D, if you try to tinker, it actively fights against you, and it is way too easy to break something over here because you changed something over here, and that is really what I dislike about it the most.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of other things that not to like about it.
Yeah.
But to me, the fact that it's like one of those, sometimes you'll get like a computer and they don't let you open it. If you open this, you're breaking the warranty.
Yeah, and then you're screwed.
I want to put in a new card. I want to upgrade the memory chip in my. They won't tell you how to open the machine. And that's like this. It's a impenetrable box. And you're just supposed to turn the crank.
I modified it heavily.
Just accept what you get.
But what I did with 5th edition, my house rules I'm known for infamous house rules. But what I did with 5th edition, the only way, because I came across that too, you change a little thing, it fucks something else up, So I changed big things. I eliminated entire classes. All right, this class, Eldritch Knight, no, Assassins, no. Just like I took an axe to it. Basically, I tried to make it so much like old school D&D as much as I possibly could. I just took an axe to massive parts of it. It's the only way I could actually play this thing. And the other thing I did was I ran for a long time a multi-year campaign. But it was mostly me and my brother one-on-one. They added one guy into it once the main group fell apart and everything, right? Because I got so disgusted with it. But I found it worked really good in a one-on-one game or a one-on-two game. One DM, 1 or 2 players. By eliminating or limiting healing. Once you limit healing and get rid of the house, the death save shit, it worked okay. It was usable. You know what I mean? And it was doable. But yeah, other than that, it's Care Bear D&D. That's the way I look at it. It's just Care Bear D&D.
There is a game called Five Torches Deep, which uses the very stripped down core of the 5th edition rules and makes it a lot deadlier. Which is, it's worth checking out. But the fact that you have to pretty much tear it down to the studs in order to make it fun, says something about, why bother? Why not just start over?
Yeah,
why not just start
look at that as fun. When I was trying to learn 5e, I was running multiple games on multiple places. One was at a game store with a bunch of young people in their 20s. A lot of they had experience with it. They'd played it before, this and that, and I just started ripping things apart. I started my approach of little things, eliminating little things, until I learned later on I have to eliminate big things. So I eliminated little things, and one kid says to me, "Why did you do that?" I said, "To make it harder." And he looked at me like I was evil, like could not comprehend. Why would you want to make it harder on the players? But then they enjoyed it because when it was harder, it was more appreciative. And when they
more satisfying.
It was
more satisfying to overcome some real danger.
Yeah, it was a true victory. That what they did. Yeah. It was fantastic. It was fantastic. So it's like they finally grokked the thing. Once I did all that. Yeah. All right, that's interesting.
There's a word you don't hear every day.
No. But what's the weird thing is I signed up for Twitter so I could stream on it, and I have to pay X amount, $8 a month, and I get Grok for free. So I've been diving into Grok here. So now Grok's in my head. I got a couple of questions for you. I put this out on my Discord that you're going to be coming in, and some people had some questions for you over there. VB Weird said, "Now that D&D is battered, what are the prospects for indie RPG publishers? Will we see a rise in homebrew worlds and systems?" What do you think?
Well, I mean, we already saw it. I mean, you said yourself with Shadow Dark. They struck at exactly the perfect time, and they've got a very nicely put together game. From the production values of their game, the layout and everything is really top notch, and it's really attracting a lot of people. I don't think it's going to be a D&D killer. I don't think anything ever will be. I think the stuff that Cobalt Press is doing, I don't think it'll have its niche, just like Pathfinder has its niche. The only time Pathfinder was more popular than D&D was 4E. And that's because, as we said, 4E sucks.
Yes.
And it'll be interesting to see if the sales numbers this year and next year, how Pathfinder compares against it. I mean, yes, you're going to see more indie games. You're absolutely going to see more indie games because more people are going to become disaffected by 5e, but what I'm seeing, and this is completely anecdotal, is that the people who don't like the new rules are just staying with the old 5e rules.
They're
my son, my son's girlfriend, they play all the time, and when I mentioned I was going to be publishing some 5e stuff, they asked for with a new one, and I was like, I have to, because that's what the rules are on DM's Guild. And I heard, we're still using the old rules. They didn't even bother, because why? They like the game they have. Why would they change? And that is exactly the reason I stick with first edition. I played second, but then I went back to first.
I invested just at looking at, books over there. So many 5e books. I don't play it anymore, but over the years, because I was running so much on Roll20, I would buy the 5e stuff on Roll20. I probably dropped, in addition to hundreds of dollars of books over here, I probably $300 or $400 in 5e stuff on Roll20, right? Modules, books, adventures, kits, packs, monsters, whatever the hell, Lions of Tigers and Bears, oh my. And so why in the hell would I lose that investment for a tiny, tiny little upgrade, which probably sucks ass anyway because it's catering to stupid shit? It makes no sense. It makes no sense to upgrade. It's easier to take a PDF that the PDF fairy delivered to your hard drive, look in there, find the 3 things that you like that they did, and drop it into your game as a house rule, right? It's not a significant enough change to me. I think it's a less significant change than 3.5 was from 3rd edition. This 2024 from D&D 2014.
I don't know. mean, mechanically, they did make some serious changes in the progression of powers. So, like in 5e, you get, when you hit this level, you get a Benny. When you hit this level, you get a Benny. They did mix those around a little bit because I had to change, some of my stuff to accommodate the new rules. And it does, those are not insignificant changes, but on the, I'm really struggling myself to find out, other than we need to sell more books, why they bothered. Because you changed some stuff around and you made it a little easier for players, but their focus is all on the digital stuff anyway.
And that
what happened to their DTG.
Yeah. Shelby Funster's yelling at me for wasting my money on that slop. Could have bought almost anything do better. Yes, thank you, Greg. All right.